Now let's take a look at our setup pages for our NVR. We're going to click into setup and we're going to land on this system page. We're going to have a device name, which can be edited to your preferred. Device ID, we can leave that on 1, which is also going to show our default language, model, serial number, firmware version, build date, and operation time. All this is fine at default. Preview, this is going to give us a virtual representation of what gets displayed on our TV. We're going to have multiple outputs on many of these NVRs. You can use this video output dropdown to control what we're setting up below. So this isn't actually physically switching any outputs on the NVR. This is just a context sensitive menu. If we want to change the VGA page setup, we just switch to VGA and we're able to adjust what gets displayed on that VGA monitor. So for HDMI, we're going to have much higher resolutions available. Our Admiral and Imperial NVRs are able to go up to 4K. You're going to want to set this lower if you do not have the support for a 4K monitor. Preview windows, this is going to be the amount by default of cameras that get displayed on the TV. Max alarm triggered live view windows. This is talking about a preset alarm trigger that is able to full screen a camera in particular, and you're able to set this to 1, 4, and 9 as needed. Sequence interval and sequence. This is talking about for whatever division you've set on screen, you're able to toggle to the next set of those cameras. So if you have 32 cameras and you set it to a 9 division here, if you have sequence on, it'll go through those first 9 cameras, wait 8 seconds, and then go to the next 9 cameras, and so on and so forth. You're also going to get division types here where you're able to set whatever your preferred layout is, depending on the number of cameras that you have. You're also able to fill this in as needed. So by default, it's just going to throw every single camera in there, top left to bottom right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we wanted to place particular cameras in particular boxes, we just need to select the box we want and then select the camera we want in that box, and it'll fill that in. Alternatively, if this ever gets out of sync and you need to clear this whole screen, at the top right, we have this disable preview for all. That'll clear all windows. At this time, you can select each camera you want in each box, or you can clear this whole screen and fill it in 1 up to the top number of cameras. And it'll show the next page here down at the bottom as well. Just make sure you save before you leave that screen. Next option down is going to be our system time. Now we're going to have an option to sync it from the computer that you're reaching it on, which is just a one-time copy off your computer. Or in this situation, we're using an NTP server. This is where it's going to go out and check online with Google for the correct time for the day based on our time zone. We're able to tell it how often to check in with Google for that as well. So right now we're doing a 5 minutes. We could do this up to a week before it checks each time. So this is good to make sure that your time is synced and that under time sync, all of our cameras are syncing that same time. DST, that's for our daylight savings time. So we're able to make our adjustments. This is all accurate. This is okay. Holiday, we're able to set certain holiday times. This is special use case, so we won't probably be using that as much. Serial, this is a particular serial connection. We're going to skip over this. Security has some of our deeper settings for security authentication. Most of this we're not going to need to mess with. This is just a deeper level setting. Point of sale, we're not going to be really going into that in too much detail. And unit, we're going to have a Celsius and Fahrenheit setting for any temperature controls that may be available on the cameras.